Hi guys, welcome to this video. Oh my god, how am I starting the video with like wardrobe malfunctions? Who does this? But yeah, welcome to this video. As the title suggests, this is going to be all the tips you need in 2022 in this current time to book the best and cheapest flights possible. This is all the facts that we've disproven, all the facts that all those like tips that no longer work. Like, this is now the real updated information on what you need to know before you book your flight in 2022. And I'm not even going to ramble like in this video. I'm just going to go straight to it. So I don't know how many points these are going to be, but then on the timeline here it will be broken down, so you can just skim through if you want, but I will encourage you to see it through the video. Also, if you like it, do what you need to do, like leave a like, subscribe, share it, tell me in the comment section, fact check me if I'm wrong in the comment section, and add any tips that have worked for you in getting the best flight deals. So yeah, let's just jump straight into the video. The very first tip is to know what the best sites are to use before you do anything. Google.com/flights. The main reason to start with Google.com/flights is just it shows you like a fare calendar, FARE, fare, not FAIR, but yeah, you get it. But then yeah, you see during the month which are the cheapest days to travel, and they put like either $1 sign, $2 signs, or $3 signs. I don't know that there's $4 signs, depending on how expensive that particular day is to travel. And this is the first. Then you can play around with dates to just kind of see which are the best dates for your wallet. I'm sorry if you see me glancing down a little bit. I have my points written down in this little notebook, so I can sort of just like arrange them in a good order so that you can understand better. Other websites that you could use is Skyscanner, Momondo. Skyscanner, first of all, Google.com/flights and Skyscanner, they go together. They go together because these two are your best tool when it comes to travel, like booking sites that I have found personally and that other travelers also swear by. Skyscanner and Google.com/flights. Google Flights. Let me just call it Google Flights. I don't know why I keep calling it Google.com/flights. Whatever. Yeah. I just rapped. But yeah, those are your two like biggest tools. That's where you start. You open one tab, Skyscanner, open another tab. Before, people apparently it used to be said that you have to like book your flights on incognito because airlines are tracking your cookies. I don't think that's true anymore. I mean, you could correct me if you're very knowledgeable on the issue, but I don't think that is true anymore, or that it was ever true. But yeah, maybe just do it anyway. I do it anyway. I always open these sites on incognito. I don't think it makes a difference. I honestly don't think it makes a difference. I think it's just like a little superstition. But yeah, do open those two tabs and cross-check whether you're getting the best flight deals. Apart from that, you could also use Momondo, you could also use Expedia, and a bunch of other apps out there. There are so many, not apps, sorry, websites. There are so many sites on the internet that you can cross-check flight deals. There's, I think, Student Universe. I think that's if you're a student, you can get like student deals. There's a bunch. There's, I think, Kayak, there's Priceline. I see so many every time I'm trying to book a flight. But yeah, definitely start with Skyscanner and Google Flights. The next tip that is absolutely important and absolutely related to tip number 1 is go to the airline's website to book your ticket. If you see a ticket that says a certain price on Emirates, go to Emirates.com. If that's their website, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it should be Emirates.com, and book your flight there. Do not book your flight ticket. I keep losing my train of thought. Do not book your flight ticket using these online, they're called OTAs, like online travel agencies. Those Expedia, Momondo, they all fall under OTAs. Do not use the OTAs to book your ticket. Go straight to the airline. Go book your flight there. This is why. Let me tell you the reason why you should never use the OTAs to book your flight, and why you should go to the airline's website directly. If there is any cancellation, if there is any delay, if you booked via Expedia, which most of the time they buy a fare from the what is it called? I can't get words to come in my brain today. From the airline, then put a markup, because at the end of the day, it's a business. They need to make a profit. They put a markup and sell it to you. So the reason you need to go to the flight is because if there's a delay on that flight, if there's a cancellation on that flight, the airline cannot reimburse you. You will have to deal with the middleman that you use, which is in this case, whichever OTA you use to book, and they are going to, and it's much easier to go to the airline and be like, y'all canceled my flight, I need a refund, I need this, I need a hotel room for my layover, this and that. So yeah, it's definitely much more advisable to book using the I don't know why I did the clapping, to book using the airline. The third point, this also very heavily relates to the first 2 points, and it's be flexible. Be flexible. If you want to travel and you've started thinking about it early, either you want to take a vacation or you want to take a trip, which how I think about it, my difference is that a vacation is something you do, like, you go for a few days, and a trip is something that is like longer term, like travel versus holiday. Anyway, that's a whole other story, but like whatever it is that you want, like if you start thinking about it early, just make sure you're flexible. You're flexible with your dates, you're flexible with your times. Avoid peak seasons. I'm just going to put it as the same point. Avoid peak seasons, avoid times when there's holidays, like around the festivities, around public holidays, because these times flights are so goddamn expensive. So avoid peak seasons, avoid traveling on a Monday or a Friday or a Sunday. These are the most expensive days to fly. The most expensive days of the week to fly are Monday, Friday, and Sunday. If you can, if your schedule allows it, try to fly on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. These are the cheapest days of the week to fly. So this one, I haven't had a lot of travelers talk about it. I don't know whether everyone does this, but it is like, check the price for 2 one-way tickets and compare it to the round trip price. Okay, so this is what I mean. If let us say I'm going from here to Dubai and back, I could check Nairobi to Dubai as a one-way flight and Dubai to Nairobi as a one-way flight. So that way I have a round trip flight, but the price could be cheaper for those 2 one-way flights than it is for a round trip. But this doesn't always apply. It's not always the case. Sometimes the round trip is cheaper, but just check, just to be, I don't know, on the cheaper side. This just sounds like a video for people who want to be cheap. I'm always quite cheap when booking flights and stuff like that. I don't want to spend an arm and a leg. I'd rather spend the arm and the leg at the destination, having fun, doing activities, paying for memories, rather than paying for a very expensive flight. But that's just me. So yeah, if you're like me, definitely let's keep being cheap in this video. Now this one, I just want to make it clear that I don't 100% recommend this. I only recommend this one if you know exactly what you're doing, and 2, if you're an experienced traveler, because this tip can mess you up, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And that is getting booking flights with multiple carriers for different legs of your trip. Okay, let me give an example of what I mean. maybe I want to go from here to France, but instead of getting a direct ticket, I want to pass through, you know, a few, like make my own layovers in a few different places. And so maybe I book Kenya Airways from Kenya to Kigali, Rwanda, and at Kigali, Rwanda I disembark and I book another flight from Kigali, Rwanda, maybe the next day, that goes to Doha, Qatar. And then I have a flight maybe booked for 2 days after that, or a day after that, from Doha to get to CDG in Paris. So I could book from here to Rwanda on Kenya Airways, from Rwanda to Doha on Qatar Airways, from Doha to CDG on Lufthansa. So basically, like, that is 100% possible. I can get to see Kigali for a day, I can get to see Doha for a day and still get to my destination. The problem with this, and it might actually be cheaper because you might get a budget airline or two, like, in between. But the problem with this is that it could go wrong so easily. One flight's cancellation or delay could affect the other price, and you're not gonna get a refund because this is not the same airline. The fact that you're using multiple carriers, the delay in one does not entitle you to a flight refund or a flight, or being booked on the next flight in the other one. So you could easily mess up your trip very, very quick by doing this. But if you're confident about what you're doing, I mean, you get to do more within your transit period. So yeah, maybe do it. If you're that confident of a traveler, definitely do it. The other very huge con, like pros versus cons of doing that, is that it will be a hassle if you have checked in luggage. If you have only carry-on, then it's totally like you can just jump on and off planes with your bag and just do whatever you want. But if you have checked in luggage, having to check in at every plane, and if one airline loses your luggage, it's a wrap, because by the time you get to the next destination, will you be following your luggage from the other airline or trying to catch your flight to the next place? Like, it could be a hassle. The other thing that, like, I just thought about nowadays with COVID tests, then if you try to do this, then that would mean you'd have to, like, if it took maybe more than the 72 hours needed at, like, your final destination, you'd have to take more COVID tests, like, here and there, which is, now that's also like a whole other hassle. Like, no one wants to do that. Some places it costs so much. In Tanzania, I had to pay, I think, $120 for a COVID test in a public hospital. If I had gone to the private hospital, they were charging up to $200 for a COVID test. I just don't understand it. By now, it's okay, we will get tested, but then by now it should be free everywhere. Like, it should be free everywhere. But anyway, let's move on. The next tip is book in advance. This should have been tip number 1. I don't do this. I have never booked a trip in advance in my life. Like, bought flight tickets and just, like, stayed knowing that there's a flight ticket in my like, email to travel in 3 weeks time or in a month's time, or even it's actually recommended to do it 3 months early. I just don't understand how people know where they're gonna be in 3 months. I'm just like, I am such a spontaneous person that I just up and go. Like, I'm just like, if I can afford it, whenever I can afford it, and I'm bored, I'm out. Like, I'm out. I don't want to be out. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm in a rut, or I'm feeling like traveling and then have to wait 3 months. I am not that person ever. But yes, this is definitely very, very important. Book in advance. Everything is cheaper when you book in advance, especially if you're booking for travel during peak seasons. So this other one is use a combination of modes of travel. This again may not be for the inexperienced travelers. If you're still like anxious and you're still scared and you don't have like enough experience, maybe just go for like a direct flight to wherever you're going. But if you're more of the like hacking type and like you can find your way around anywhere basically, then definitely do this. You can easily, like, especially if you're traveling Europe, if you're traveling Southeast Asia. I was in Southeast Asia, and I find that this is actually very, very possible in Southeast Asia. You could fly to, okay, let me even just use the example of Kenya. If you're flying into Kenya and you find that, like, a flight to, I'll just use random figures, we're not even going to say where we are coming from, but you're coming from somewhere and flying into Kenya, and just your goal is just to be in Kenya. You could find that a flight into the international airport in Mombasa is $400, but a flight into the international airport in Nairobi is $600. If the difference is $200, the train from Mombasa to Nairobi is $10. So if you fly to Mombasa and take a train to Nairobi, you end up arriving in Nairobi and you only use $410 as opposed to $600 for a direct flight to Nairobi. So if you're definitely the person who can do it, like, and who can figure out their way anywhere, definitely use a combination of transport. Use get a flight to a smaller airport. Those tend to be a bit cheaper. Sometimes get a flight to a smaller airport, and from there sort of figure out your way. Use a bus, use a train, use any means of transport. But with this, just make sure it also doesn't cut into you enjoying your vacation and doesn't take up too much time. Because if you're coming to Kenya and you have I don't know, 1 week to be here, and in that 1 week you want to see Nairobi, you want to see the city, you want to go to the beach, you want to go to the Masai Mara, and you use a whole day on the train. Okay, the train doesn't take a whole day, it takes 5 hours, but then yeah, if that is going to set you back a day that is very important for you to be exploring, then maybe it's not worth. Just check whether it's worth the money that you're saving. If it's worth the money that you're saving, 100% go ahead. If it's not, again, we are not cheap all the time. Sometimes we use our brains. Don't be cheap all the time, because then you're just gonna have a bad trip, and it's not going, like, the money that you could have saved will not have made a difference. The other one, this kind of relates to the one I talked about, but this is not about multiple airlines. This is just choosing flights with layovers. So direct flights happen to be way more expensive, not way more expensive, sometimes just a little more expensive, but sometimes they are actually, like, significantly more expensive than the same flight with a layover. And sometimes the layover is not like a very, like, huge amount of time. If you have a layover in Doha or in DXB or anywhere for 3 hours, that's not going to take too much away from like the time that you would have arrived anyway. So if you're trying to save some money, maybe go for the flight with a layover. Sometimes if it's a crazy amount of time, you might find that it actually benefits you, because then you get to go out and explore the place. I've had like a 15-hour layover before, and then that's for me, I don't mind it, because I had enough time. Like, I was traveling like indefinitely at that time. When I was going to Asia, I was traveling indefinitely. I didn't have like a time crunch. 15 hours wasn't like going to take away from like important vacation time or anything like that. So I could afford 15 hours to explore a whole new city in a whole new country that I wouldn't have gone to. So if for you that is something that makes sense, then definitely consider it. The next point is changing your destination entirely. Like, okay, I know this might not make sense, but I'm the kind of person, I may have a rough idea of where I want to go, but if the logistics are not logisticking, then I change the destination entirely. Yeah, if you don't have to be at this one destination, just switch up to the next destination. If the flights are too expensive, if the flights are cheap but the accommodation is expensive, people sometimes don't think about that. You could get a very good deal on a flight, but the accommodation is mad expensive, or the activities are very expensive, or out of your means in one way or another. Then maybe just change the destination. Initially, before I went to Asia, before I went to Southeast Asia, I was supposed to go to Morocco, and when it came to going to Morocco, it wasn't even the flights, it was the visa. Like the Moroccan embassy in Kenya, like I'm looking at you guys funny. I'm looking at you guys funny because they make it so hard to get like a visa to go to Morocco as a Kenyan that it's insane. It's actually insane. So I just switched it to Malaysia. Like just like that. Like, you're not gonna make my life harder. You're not gonna make me beg to come to your country. I'm sorry. No. Just no. So yeah, if that is within something that you can actually do, just change your destination. So the other point is take the flights that are less desirable to a lot of people. I'm talking like early morning flights. Like a lot of people don't want a 4 a.m. flight and they're not gonna pick that, so pick that one. Sometimes it's cheaper and you just have to go out of your way a little bit to get out like earlier or in the middle of the night. But to me, that's fine if I get like a good deal on a flight or late night flights as well. So yeah, just pick an option like that is less desirable to a lot of people, and you might end up with a good deal on your hands. Budget airlines sometimes will save your life. Okay, not your life, but then yeah, they will save your pockets a great deal. Like I've used budget airlines in Asia and I've used budget airlines in Kenya as well, like to go to the coast or something, and they're a lifesaver. They are a lifesaver. You may not get the comforts that like the bigger airlines may afford you, but especially if it's a short flight, if it's a 2-hour flight, a 3-hour flight, I don't care. Like I can sit in a like on a flight with no leg room for 3 hours. That's not like something that's very important to me. As long as I get to my destination absolutely safe. But beware, something about budget airlines, sometimes they can put like the base fare over there to like attract you and like show you how much of a deal you're getting. But once you click on it, that's when you realize that they want to add luggage fees. They want to add like seat selection as a different charge. Like they want to charge you to select your seat. I don't understand it. They want to they just want to have these add-on expenses on top that I really don't understand. So if you're picking to go the budget airline route, just be sure that what you see is what you're getting, and there's no like added like food and drinks price over there. If it's a 3-hour flight, carry your own snacks. That's the next point. Let's just move straight on to the next point. Carry your own snacks. Carry your own, like, you know, if you're gonna need something to chew on, especially if you're on a long haul flight, the times between meal times, you'll probably need, you know, something to chew on, as a little snacky snack. Just carry it, because the prices that they charge on those flights are exorbitant. And together with that point about carrying your own snacks, carry a water bottle, like a refillable water bottle. Don't put water in it, because that's not like they're gonna take it at like that security place where they search you. Don't put water in it, just carry it empty. Then after you're done, like after you've been checked, there's always a place where. So the other tip is to travel light. For like budget airlines, because most of them charge for extra luggage, it's cheaper for you to travel carry-on only, because then you don't have to pay for luggage. But yeah, the next point is book one ticket at a time if you're traveling either 2 people or in groups, because what airlines do, they bundle you together. Which, okay, if you are very like, if you are hell-bent on sitting together, maybe do the tickets together. But then if you don't mind like sitting apart from each other, do one at a time, because airlines bundle you together in like a class, like these people are in the same carriage together, because carriage I can't say that word for some reason. Some days like my mouth just won't say some words. I promise you I know how to pronounce that word, but somehow no. But yeah, you could find like when booking together, or when booking for 2, maybe like each ticket is $300, $300 per ticket, which makes $600. Then if you remove one person, because you are paying $600 for 2, yeah, if you minus 1, instead of coming to $300, you're seeing like $220. So that means for one person is $220, but if you book together for one person becomes $300. I don't know how, but then yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Let me not make this video too I don't have very many points remaining. The next one is, this is how to travel for free, essentially. Not really free because you still paid for those things, but then the point is miles and points. Accumulating miles and points is like a very, very good way to travel for free. I say free because I don't believe it's for free. People say it's for free, but I don't understand. Like, either way, to get those points, you bought things. To get those miles, you flew with them. For that ticket, you paid. Then you kept paying until you got the number of points, or you kept buying things until you got, the number of miles. Then you kept buying things until you got the number of points. And now this is the thing that's helping you buy that ticket. So basically, you did buy that ticket. Just my opinion. But yeah, definitely accumulate your points. Never take a flight without making sure that you've logged it into, and you've create an account with the airline that you're on the website of the airline that you're flying with. Create an account, make sure your miles get get credited to your account for each trip, because you can either use them to get yourself a whole other flight once they are the number that the airline requires, or get an upgrade. One day you could fly business class. I've never flown business class, that's why I'm saying one day. Also, for people who live in some countries, they have travel credit cards and travel debit cards, or like cards that give you points that you can use towards travel, like the Amex card, those Chase Sapphire cards. Those don't apply to us because we don't have that here in Kenya, but I will do my research and find out what we do have. I'm sure there's at least one somewhere, and maybe I will make a video on the options. Maybe we are not using them because we don't know that they exist. Maybe they actually do. Let me do the last 2 points. Like, I'm just gonna do them real quick. Bonus points before this camera dies. Subscribe to email lists. Subscribe to email lists from airlines so that you get to know about promotions, about flash sales, about fare mistakes. Like, sometimes they have like those fare mistakes. You have to act fast, book that trip real quick, but get travel insurance. So that all those missed flights, if the airline cancels a flight, your travel insurance will reimburse you. But yeah, I rapped through that whole last part of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Please give me video ideas down below. Tell me what videos you want to see. I'm about to run out of charge again. Tell me what videos you want to see on this channel. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. If you got something out of it, please tell me in the comment section. Add any points, fact check me if I got something wrong, and I'll see you in the next one.